Greetings, adventurers! Welcome to Miniature Legends, a place where even the smallest of figures can be legendary. It seems we have entered the Halloween season, and with it, the hobby stores in your life are now infested with the Eldritch. Truly an opportunity to craft some cheap scatter terrain. Sending my familiar wandering through one of these craft hobby stores, they have returned with an interesting project for us today. This cheap plywood bar is a perfect and easy conversion into a piece of versatile scatter terrain for games such as D&D, Warhammer Fantasy, or Malifaux. Let's get started, shall we? I began by removing the sign, as well as the flat pumpkins. I have an idea for a much better use of the open barn space in this project. As you can see, the wood cladding has come loose. I would like to preserve that, so I used a drop of superglue to keep it intact. For the roof, I began by making shingles from heavy cardstock, marking and then cutting them into strips. I marked them out and cut the individual shingles. Then, I used hot glue to secure the bottom row on both sides. Afterwards, I used tacky glue to secure the remaining shingles in place. Once that had dried, I cut the excess shingles from the roof. I like the boarded up look, so I removed this board and placed it over the attic window. I also removed the pumpkin cutouts in the window. And removed the door. Next, I cut some thin balsa wood planks to establish a frame and give the piece some depth. I glued down some balsa strips to give the roof a flat space for minis. Wanting said roof to be accessible, I began constructing a balsa and toothpick ladder. then glued it in place. I quickly 3D printed a set of stone steps for the doorway and affixed it with superglue. As well as the door. Then I finished off the frame. I used the offcuts from the shingles here. Then gave the cardstock shingles a generous coating of Mod Podge to prevent them from warping while painting. Finally, I 3D printed some crates for the barn doorway. I gave the whole piece a coat of black primer with the airbrush. As well as priming the crates. Then giving both a zenithal highlight of white. I then applied a coat of burnt umber to the roof. And a coat of khaki to the walls and ladder. For the steps, I applied a thin coat of neutral gray. And a dark brown for the door. Then, I gave the entire piece a wash using my homemade terrain wash. Once that was dry, I dry brushed the shingles with a light brown. Then applied a rough highlight to the steps. And blended it with a light brown glaze. For the door, I applied a coat of gunmetal gray metallic to the details. Then a light brown to highlight the raised sections. Finally, a wash to mute both colors down a bit. Then, I applied a yellowish brown to the wooden planks. I wanted the impression that someone had given the barn some repairs in the past. Then a light brown wash to show the wood grain detail. Next, I edge highlighted the frame. Here, I applied a light green glaze to cover the remaining pumpkins and give the shack a sense of moss and mildew. Afterwards, I used a sponge with a more vibrant paint to add some variation in color to the mossy sections. I did a simple paint job for the crates. Just a base coat. A brown wash. And a light dry brush highlight. I hit the nails with some gunmetal gray and added some bronze to the barrel. Then I glued them in place. Wanting to add a bit more detail, I glued down some green foam to act as mossy growths. In the spirit of autumn, I added some fallen leaves and sticks across the piece. And we're done. How do you think I did with this project? Any other thoughts? Please let me know with the transcription down below. I hope to see you again soon. Farewell, adventurers.